Starseed from Gaia, the chai standing before you right now is not small. It is the one your soul has been navigating toward across lifetimes. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I have been sent to reach you in this exact moment. Because what you decide today, even the simplest, quietest decision, carries the weight of your entire trajectory forward. This is not a coincidence. This is not content. This is a code delivered through light and sound, and something deep within you already knows it. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the small choice that is yours to make, align it with your cosmic blueprint, and allow it to open the door to the future your soul came here to live. But here's the first revelation. The choice that changes everything never looks significant at first. That is how the Arcturian Council designed it. The most powerful turning points are hidden inside ordinary moments, and you have arrived at one right now. You did not scroll to this by mistake. This message vibrated into your field because some part of you is already awake enough to receive it. Your soul called this in. You have been waiting to remember. This is not just a message. It is a point of reconnection. Something inside you is ready to be unlocked. Like this transmission to signal to your star family, I am ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with your true purpose. Comment 999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning. Declare your galactic intention in the replies and answer someone else's. Because when starseeds activate together, the signal multiplies. You are not here by accident, and that choice, that one quiet, almost invisible decision you've been circling for weeks, maybe months, is not as small as it looks from the outside. From where your soul stands, from the vantage point of the lineage you carry and the mission encoded into the very structure of your energy field, that choice is a threshold. A dimensional gateway dressed in ordinary clothing. And the reason it feels so heavy, so loaded with something you can't quite name, is because it is. You are not overthinking it. You are feeling the weight of a timeline pivot point. Think about what it means to stand at the edge of a threshold. In ancient traditions, the threshold was never treated as an incidental architectural feature. It was sacred ground, the space between what was and what is becoming. The liminal corridor between identities. Priests would pause at thresholds. Warriors would breathe at them. Initiates would be required to stand at them in silence before crossing, because the tradition understood something. Your modern mind has been conditioned to forget that the moment of crossing is not less significant than the destination. The threshold is the activation point, and you are standing at one right now. Even if what surrounds it looks like Tuesday morning and a cup of coffee going cold on your counter, the ordinary fabric of this moment is threaded through with the extraordinary. The question is not whether the gateway is real. The question is whether you are willing to let yourself feel how real it is. This is what most starseeds are never told. And it is perhaps the most important transmission you will receive today. The disconnection you feel, the sense that you are always arriving but never quite landing, the exhaustion of carrying wisdom you can't fully explain, the longing for something this dimension has never been able to satisfy, that is not a malfunction. That is a signal. That is your galactic intelligence trying to break through the surface of a reality that was never designed to contain what you carry. You are not built for this world as it is. You are built to shift it into what it is becoming. And the difference between those two things is the small choice standing in front of you right now. Let that land completely. Because so many starseeds have spent years, sometimes decades, interpreting the ache of not quite fitting as evidence that something is broken in them, that the longing is a wound, that the disconnection is a diagnosis. And so they soften their edges, they shrink their knowing, they translate themselves into smaller vocabularies so the people around them won't feel the uncomfortable frequency of someone who is living between worlds. They apologize for the depth they carry. They perform belonging in spaces that were never vibrating at the frequency of their truth. And all the while, the galactic signal keeps pulsing beneath the performance, patient and persistent, waiting for the moment when you stop trying to fit and start allowing yourself to transform. The ache was never a wound, it was a compass. The longing was never lack, it was direction. And today, in this transmission, in this moment, that compass is being recalibrated with a precision that your entire journey has been building toward. Most people, even most awakening people, believe that transformation is built from grand gestures, from massive upheaval, from burning everything down and starting over in a blaze of spiritual dramatics. But the Arcturian Council has transmitted something far more precise and far more powerful than that. They have shown, through frequency and through pattern, that the most significant timeline shifts in a starseed's journey are almost always initiated by one quiet act of alignment. One moment when you chose your soul over your fear. One decision that looked small to the world around you, but sent a signal through every dimension of your being that said, I am ready. I am no longer waiting for permission to become who I already am. The Arcturian Council does not traffic in theater. Their transmissions are not delivered through spectacle or drama. They operate through coherence, through the elegant precision of a single aligned frequency moving through a field that is finally ready to receive it. And what they have shown again and again to those who are awake enough to perceive the pattern is that the most powerful moments in a starseed's incarnation are rarely the ones that look transformative from the outside. They are the quiet mornings when you chose to speak the truth you had been swallowing for years. The evening you decided to stop shrinking so that someone else could feel comfortable. The moment you recognized a pattern in your own behavior and chose, for the first time, not to repeat it. These are the moments that rewrite timelines. These are the choices that the galactic record encodes as turning points, not the grand declarations. The quiet, private, deeply personal acts of courage that nobody else may ever witness, but that every dimension of your being registers as seismic. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now let's go deeper into what is actually happening in your energy field, and why this moment, this specific juncture in your personal timeline, is not an accident. Your soul chose this incarnation with extraordinary precision. Every coordinate of your arrival, the timing, the family system, the struggles, the awakenings, was mapped with intention. But the design also included a series of encoded delays, patterns of forgetting built into the early chapters of your life, so that when you did begin to remember, the remembrance would carry the full weight of earned clarity. Not inherited truth, but activated truth. Truth you had to descend into density to find, and what you may not yet fully realize is that those delays are ending. The encoding is lifting. And what is rising in its place is a level of soul clarity that your nervous system, your identity, and your daily choices must now be prepared to hold. Imagine a seed that carries within its genetic coding the blueprint of a tree that has never grown in this particular soil before. The seed does not begin to sprout immediately upon entering the ground. It sits in the darkness. It is compressed by the weight of the earth above it. It exists in conditions that appear, from any external vantage point, to be utterly inhospitable to growth. But within that compression, within that darkness, something profound is occurring. The seed coat is softening. The encoded information is activating. The roots are preparing to push before the branches ever have a chance to rise. And when the sprout finally breaks the surface, when the first visible evidence of what was always coming finally emerges, it does so not despite the time spent in darkness, but because of it. The depth of root determines the height of rise. And you, Starseed, have been developing root systems that this world has never seen. What is emerging now has been decades in the preparing. What is rising through the surface of your ordinary life is not a beginning. It is a culmination. This is why the choice in front of you feels so significant. It is not simply a practical decision. It is a frequency test, not designed to judge you, but to calibrate you, to measure whether the version of you that shows up in this moment matches the version of you that agreed to be here before this life began. And the beautiful, shattering truth is this: you already know the answer. You have always known. The hesitation is not confusion. The hesitation is the last layer of an earthbound identity that is afraid of what happens when you finally let your galactic self fully anchor into this body, this life, this now. That earthbound identity has served a purpose. Do not be harsh with it. It learned its patterns of protection in real environments of real difficulty. It developed its strategies for survival in conditions that genuinely required survival strategies. It shrank not out of weakness, but out of an ancient cellular wisdom that understood, at some level, that it was holding something too luminous for the spaces it found itself in, and that luminosity needed to be protected until the time of its full expression arrived. That time is now, and the act of honoring the protector while no longer needing its protection. That is not rejection. That is graduation. That is the moment the butterfly stops trying to understand the caterpillar and simply spreads its wings into the morning it was always encoded to inhabit. So let's walk through what this activation actually looks like, because understanding the stages of what is unfolding inside you is one of the most powerful things you can do to support your own expansion. The first movement is the decoding of distortion. Before anything else can awaken, you must recognize that a significant portion of what you believe about yourself, about your limitations, about what is possible for someone like you, was never sourced from your own soul. It was absorbed from a culture, from a family lineage, from collective fear fields that were woven so deeply into the human experience that they feel like original truth. They are not. They are frequencies that were never yours, settling into a body that didn't know how to refuse them. And the moment you begin to see them as external, as borrowed static rather than inner signal, your starseed codes begin to breathe again. They begin to surface. The DNA that was always carrying your galactic instructions starts to translate its own language into the language of your conscious awareness. Consider the transmission more fully. You entered this dimension through a veil of forgetting. Yes. But you also entered through a veil of absorbing. From the moment of your first breath, your field was being written upon by frequencies that had nothing to do with who you truly are. The beliefs of a lineage that had suffered for generations. The unprocessed emotions of caregivers who were themselves operating from patterns they had never examined. The cultural narratives of a collective that had, for centuries, been slowly trained away from its own innate knowing. You received all of it because you were open. Because the very sensitivity that makes you a starseed also made you extraordinarily permeable in your earliest years. And so, the first great act of awakening is not the acquisition of new truth. It is the recognition and release of borrowed falsehood. It is holding up to the light of your own soul awareness everything you were told about yourself, your capabilities, your worth, your possibilities, and asking with radical honesty, does this actually belong to me? Was this ever mine? Or did I simply never know I had the authority to refuse it? The second movement is what I would call the remembrance of resonance. There are things in your life, places, sounds, ideas, moments of inexplicable emotion that have always felt like more than coincidence. A piece of music that makes you grieve something you cannot name. A landscape that triggers a longing so ancient it almost dissolves you. A conversation about consciousness that makes your entire body hum with recognition. These are not aesthetic preferences. These are galactic memory fragments surfacing through your sensory experience. They are your star lineage communicating through the portals your human life has left open. When you begin to treat these moments not as curiosities but as data, as coordinates, your navigation system upgrades in ways that no external teacher can fully facilitate. You become your own transmission tower. You begin to receive yourself. There is a particular quality of emotion that accompanies these moments of galactic memory, and it is worth describing precisely because so many starseeds have misidentified it. It is not exactly joy. It is not exactly grief. It is something that contains both a bittersweet recognition that moves through the body like light through water, refracting into something that doesn't have a name in any human language. The closest word in the human lexicon might be homecoming, except that it is a homecoming to a place you have never physically been in this lifetime. It is the recognition of a frequency so fundamental to your nature that encountering it, even in a fragment, even in a piece of music or a color in the sky at a particular hour, produces this almost unbearable tenderness. This is not nostalgia. This is remembrance. And every time you choose to follow that resonance, to let it guide you rather than explain it away, you are pulling another thread of your original coding back into conscious reach. You are rebuilding your own map from the inside. The third movement is the anchoring of your higher template into daily reality. This is where most starseeds stall, not because they lack spiritual depth, but because they have unconsciously kept their awakening quarantined to meditation, to ceremony, to elevated moments separated from ordinary life. and the Arcturian Council is very clear on this. Your mission is not housed in the sacred spaces you create apart from your life. Your mission is the frequency you carry into every ordinary moment. The way you speak, the choices you make about where your energy flows, the small daily decisions, like the one sitting in front of you right now, that either reinforce the old identity or begin to construct the new one. Anchoring your higher template means bringing your most expanded self into the most grounded parts of your human experience. It means not waiting until you feel ready. It means choosing alignment even when the earthbound identity still feels afraid. This is the teaching that transforms the spiritual journey from a retreat into a revolution, because the awakening that can only survive in incense and silence is not yet fully born. It is still tender, still dependent on optimal conditions, still fragile in the face of ordinary Monday morning energy. But the awakening that has been anchored, that has been walked into the grocery store, and the difficult conversation and the moment of financial stress, and the encounter with someone who does not see you, that awakening is unshakable. It has been tested in the field. It is proven that it can hold its frequency not only when conditions are favorable, but when they are not. And this is the kind of awakening that actually changes a life. Not the transcendent vision on the mountaintop, the aligned choice at the kitchen table, the moment you carry your highest knowing into the most ordinary human circumstance and refuse to let the density of that circumstance convince you to be less than you know you are. The fourth movement is the activation of your field as transmission. You are never meant to convince anyone of what you know. You are never meant to argue the validity of what you carry. The Arcturian frequency doesn't operate through persuasion. It operates through presence. When you are genuinely aligned, when your choices reflect your highest codes rather than your oldest fears, the field you move through begins to recalibrate around you. People feel something when they encounter you and cannot explain it. Situations reorganize. Synchronicities accelerate. This is not magic. This is coherent frequency in action. And it begins not with a grand declaration, but with a small choice. One act of genuine alignment that tells the universe at every scale of reality simultaneously that you have chosen to operate from your highest truth. Science has begun to catch the edge of what the Arcturian Council has always known. The human biofield, the electromagnetic field generated by the body and particularly by the heart, extends far beyond the boundaries of the skin. It is not contained within you. It radiates outward. It interacts with the fields of those around you. It literally changes the energetic environment of every space you occupy. And the quality of that field, its coherence, its stability, its frequency, is directly influenced by the alignment between your inner state and your outer choices. When those two things are in harmony, when what you believe about yourself and what you choose to express in the world are the same thing, your field becomes extraordinarily coherent. And a coherent field does not require explanation. It speaks at a frequency that bypasses the thinking mind entirely and lands directly in the knowing body of every person who comes within its range. This is why some people seem to change rooms just by entering them. This is why some conversations leave you feeling more alive than when you began. This is presence as transmission. This is what you are being called to embody. The fifth movement is the integration of your timeline. Every moment of confusion, every season of delay, every time you felt like you were falling behind a schedule you could sense but not see. All of it was purposeful. None of it was punishment. The Arcturian Council has shown that the most powerful Starseed activations are always preceded by periods of profound disorientation. The silence before the signal clarifies. The stillness before the coordinates lock in. You were never behind. You were being prepared. And if you are watching this now, if this transmission found you in this moment, it is because your preparation is complete. The disorientation has done its sacred work, and what is coming next, if you allow it, is a phase of your life that your soul has been moving toward since before you took your first breath in this dimension. The disorientation deserves to be honored, not dismissed. Every period of your life when you felt lost was in fact a period when your known coordinates were dissolving to make room for more accurate ones. Every time the path you thought you were on revealed itself to be something other than what you expected, you were being rerouted. Not away from your destination, but more directly toward it. A navigator who is willing to release an inaccurate map and wait in the discomfort of not yet having a new one is far closer to their true destination than one who clings to outdated coordinates for the comfort of feeling certain. The seasons of your greatest confusion were the seasons of your most significant recalibration. And the fact that you are still here, that you have not abandoned the journey, that you are receiving this transmission in this moment, is evidence not of how far you still have to go, but of how extraordinary your navigation has already been. The sixth movement is the recalibration of relationship, with yourself and with time. Starseeds often carry an enormous burden of urgency, a sense that they are running out of time, that the mission should have launched by now, that the window is closing and they have spent too long in preparation. But this is not truth. This is fear wearing the costume of cosmic pressure. Real galactic time does not operate through anxiety. It operates through precision. And the precision of your path means that when you make the aligned choice, when you step through the threshold that is in front of you today, time does not accelerate. It clarifies. The path does not speed up. It reveals itself, and suddenly the years of searching, of nearly arriving, of preparing, they become the foundation rather than the failure. They become the roots of everything that is now ready to rise. There is a difference between divine timing and the use of divine timing as a spiritual rationalization for indefinite delay. The Arcturian Council is precise on this point. There is a moment in every starseed's journey when the preparation genuinely is complete, and what is being asked is not more preparation, but the simple, terrifying, glorious act of stepping forward. And the signal that you have arrived at that moment is not the disappearance of uncertainty. It is the shift in the quality of the inner voice. The voice of preparation says not yet. The voice of readiness says not later. They feel similar on the surface, but in the body, they are entirely different frequencies. One contracts, one expands, one makes you smaller, one makes you fuller. Pay attention to which one is speaking. And when the expansion is the one finding its voice, even through the fear, even through the residual self-doubt, trust it. Step. The universe cannot meet you at the threshold if you never cross it. The seventh movement is the fullest expression of mission, not as a destination, but as a way of being. This is what the Arcturian Council is transmitting through every message, every activation, every encoded frequency they send to those ready to receive it. Your mission is not a career. It is not a platform. It is not even a purpose, in the way the human mind tends to define it. Your mission is the quality of consciousness you inhabit, and therefore radiate into the world. It is the degree to which you allow your galactic intelligence to express itself through your uniquely human experience. And when you reach this stage, when being yourself fully becomes the transmission, you stop asking whether you are doing enough, because you understand, in the deepest part of your energy field, that your presence alone carries the frequency that this dimension needs. You don't have to be extraordinary. You have to be authentic. You have to be aligned. You have to make the small choice. Mission as destination is exhausting. Mission as destination means you are always somewhere other than where you need to be. It means the work never starts because the conditions are never quite right. It means your purpose is always ahead of you, always slightly out of reach, always dependent on a future version of yourself who has finally figured out the last remaining piece. But mission as a way of being, mission as presence, is available to you right now, in this breath, in this body, in this body, in this ordinary Wednesday, or Sunday, or whatever day this is finding you. It does not require a platform. It does not require an audience. It does not require any external validation at all. It requires only that you let the fullness of who you are, the unedited, uncensored, galactically encoded truth of your consciousness, be present in whatever situation you find yourself in. That is the mission. That is the whole of it. Everything else is structure that may or may not emerge from that fundamental act of sovereign self-expression. And here is the ultimate transmission. The final thing the Council wants you to hear today, and to receive not just in your mind, but in the cellular memory of your physical body. You are not lost, you are arriving. The forgetting was not failure, it was architecture. Your soul designed a path that would require you to descend so completely into the human experience that your remembrance, when it finally came, would be unshakable. You have not been wandering. You have been descending with purpose into the coordinates from which the most profound ascension becomes possible. Every door that closed, every version of yourself you had to release, every relationship that couldn't hold the frequency of who you were becoming. All of it was clearing the field for this. For now, for the version of you that is capable of hearing this transmission and recognizing it as their own voice, returned from across dimensions. Receive this fully. Let the body receive it, not just the mind, because the mind may understand the words while the body still holds the memory of every closed door as evidence of inadequacy. Let the cellular memory be rewritten by this truth. Nothing was wasted. Not a single day of confusion. Not a single year of searching. Not a single grief. Not a single loss. Not a single moment of staring into the darkness and wondering whether the light was real or merely something your desperate imagination had conjured to survive. All of it was real. All of it was purposeful. The darkness was not the absence of your path. The darkness was the path. And you walked it with a courage that, from the vantage point of your galactic self, is breathtaking to witness. The choice in front of you is not really about the practical thing it appears to be. It is about whether you trust the intelligence of your own journey, whether you are willing, today, in this ordinary moment, dressed as threshold, to say yes to the version of yourself that has been waiting on the other side of your hesitation, not because you have all the answers, not because the fear is gone, but because somewhere beneath the fear, beneath the uncertainty, beneath the story your Earth identity has been telling you about why this isn't the right time, there is a knowing, a resonance. A quiet certainty that has been patient with you for far longer than you realize. That knowing does not shout. It does not compete with the noise of the anxious mind. It speaks in the frequency of deep water, unhurried, continuous, impossibly deep. It has been present through every season of your searching. It was present before the searching began. It will be present long after the search has resolved into the certainty of arrived truth. And it is present right now, in this moment, available to you if you are willing to get quiet enough and deep enough within yourself to hear it. Trust it today, not as an abstract spiritual instruction. Trust it as the most radical and concrete act of courage available to you in this specific moment of your specific life. Before you sleep tonight, place one hand on your chest and say this aloud, or in the silence of your own awareness, I remember who I am. I align with the intelligence of my path. I say yes to the version of myself that has always known the way. And then watch what moves. Before you scroll away, take one moment to leave something real in the comments. Not a reaction, an intention. Something you are choosing, as of today, to align with. Something your soul has been asking you to say yes to. And then find someone else's intention and offer them something genuine in return. A word, an acknowledgement, an energy. Because what is forming here is not an audience. It is a field, and that field is amplified by every authentic act of connection within it. If this message found you, it was not by accident. Someone in your life needs to hear this today. If you feel that pull, follow it, share this with them. And if you felt something during this transmission, something you want to stay close to, then stay. Subscribe. Because we are not done. We are just beginning to remember together. You are not here by chance. You never were.